Check one, check one. Check one, check one, check one, check one. Check one, check one. Check one, check two, check three, check 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Please share the live, share the live, share the live. Tag a friend, everybody come in, yeah. Put out a statement, a video statement. Well, he don't come on the radio, just like how Dr. Joe come on the radio and take some questions. Eh? But anyhow, we're going to examine that tonight. Are you coming here? Come in. Come in, come in, come in, come in. Yeah, I'm a little bit late tonight. I got home, set up the live, and then realized I forget to buy the battery them. I forgot to purchase the batteries. The batteries that would make the audio nice. Forget them. But nevertheless, we are here. We are here, people. We are here. We are here, people. So, yeah. A couple of things I want to touch before we get to the broadcast put out by Dr. Timothy Harris. First, good night to everybody. Jeff Freen, good night. Miss Brown, good night. Crystal, good night. Colleen, good night. Loretta, how are you? Brenda, good night. Just running through. I started to come like Big Nice while I heal up everybody before I go. Big Nice is my mentor, you know. Yeah, man. Auntie Tracy, big up yourself. Please share the live. Share the live mentations. Please, I beg of you, go and share the live. I'm going to share it on my WhatsApp. Put it up in your WhatsApp status to everybody come in here. It's a conversation. And, yeah, so, oh, boy. Before we get to the statement put out by Dr. Harris, as I said before, I want to drop a couple of things with you guys, but I'm making sure that the numbers at least come up. Couldn't even go to a radio station and make a statement. Probably tape that there's some in a corner you. My, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. My, how the mighty have fallen. People, let me tell you, it is important for people to understand that when you are in a certain position, right, it is imperative that you exercise some humility in your execution of your duties as a leader in whatever organization that you may be a part of. Because at the pinnacle of your power, you must understand that at some point in time, you will fall from grace. And how hard and how fast you fall depends on who you would have impacted on your way up. And it appears to me that we have a sickness, I'm going to call it a sickness, in the Caribbean region, and I can speak specifically to St. Kitts and Nevis, where people, while they are on their rise upwards, would step on people, disenfranchise people, oppress people, and keep down people. And then when they're on their way out now, people who weren't victims of their oppression want you to celebrate them on their way out. No time at all. And that is what is happening to Timothy right now. No care how he cohorts them, try to force it down people's throat and post it up and down on Facebook. The fact of the matter is that he stepped on a lot of people. People everywhere got a story about this dude. And so no mere amount of Facebook posts, WhatsApp posts, pictures that you're going to reminisce on about how great and how good he be, going to ever erase the things that he did to people. No. Yesterday, or last night rather, I made a few comments about the people who said absolutely nothing when we were going through our state of affairs. You couldn't find them, you couldn't hear them. These were the very same people who were front and center and present during Douglas prorogue parliament. He in a abeyance of the law. He not call emotional confidence. We all had that conversation. The women were marching, the ladies in white, they were praying. Everybody was involved. The chamber used to put out statements, the Bar Association, members of the Bar Association, prominent lawyers, business people, everybody was speaking up against Douglas. But under Timothy, which turned out to be 10 times worse than Douglas, nobody been attacked. Everybody was silent. Now everybody got an opinion about Parliament. Even Timothy himself get up and say it is not normal contravention that we have the first, second, and third reading in a one sitting. And he a wonder. By sit down and hush your ass. You a wonder what? What is your wonder? Timothy, let me refresh your mind and let me refresh the minds of the people who are still out there pushing your agenda. Can you recall when Timothy fired 6 members from his cabinet, leaving only 3 elected? Himself, Eugene Hamilton, and Akila Nisbet Byron, or Byron Nisbet, however we go. 3 elected representatives. And the rest is senators who nobody vote for. Juicy and Wendy. Three elected members left in the cabinet to run this country, along with 2 appointed senators. Making executive orders for us, signing contracts, making payments to businesses and people without the oversight of Parliament. Timothy no got no moral standing whatsoever to be talking about anything to do with parliamentary procedures. Nothing. He go sit down and he go hush. The last time we had parliament in this country under Timothy, the best prime minister, some say, was when we had the budget for 2022. And that budget was in what? December of 21. Am I right or am I right? Tell me in the comment section. He's supposed to say watch me more. Then I cut the live. Hear me again. The last time Timothy held parliament leading up to the next general election that we had in August was December of 2021. Prior to that, I hope my memory serves me correctly. When did they bring the bill, the amendment for the way you call it, the tint? That was in 21, right? I don't think it was in 2022. Was it in 2021? 2021. In the midst of a pandemic where people could not work because of the task force that they say advised them to make SRNOs and to have the COVID-19 bill or act or whatever the hell it was. This is what Juicy as an AG advised the government to do. To suspend people's constitutional and civil rights in order to fight a virus when the Public Health Act could have done it. With a simple amendment, the same amendment that Labour recently passed through the House of Assembly. 1, 2, 3 reading. Now that in and of itself gives the power to the Minister of Health and whomever else to act if a matter of public health is threatened. Not lock you down and put you in a state of emergency and turn this into a police state that you can't talk. You got to understand the nature of Timothy, you know. When people out here defend him and the shit we're here saying, you know. Understand the nature. It's chalk and cheese. This is what the guy did. And in the midst of when people lost their apartments, lost their businesses, lost their properties, Timothy, Sean, Mark, Alexis, Eric Evelyn, Akila, Hammy, Wendy, and the rest of them went into Parliament to amend a traffic law to give the police more power to make money out of you that you wasn't having. If your tint drop 10 inches below your windscreen, the kind of money where you could pay. In the midst of a pandemic, let's compare and contrast the parliaments that Timothy had in his last days to and John L. Powell. When he going to make post boat, he no went to go ride no camel, but they going to go ride bike. By John L. sit down and hush your mouth. Partner, you're the least. Sit down and hush your mouth. You're my good friend, but please sit down and hush. You got dead last. You was with them. Look at what this Labour government brought to Parliament as opposed to what Timothy and his motley crew, a drinkers and partiers, brought to the Parliament. And we're going to get to something too, because somebody named Jacqueline Harmony, and I want to see it too. I'm going to put it up right now. Jacqueline Harmony, and this is where it all ties in. Jacqueline Harmony, look what she writes. I am concerned since the installation of this new government just over 3 months ago, there seems to have been an inordinate number of overseas trips. Jacqueline, big troops. The new administration is taking. Why the large number of people traveling at this critical time when the new government should be consolidating its position in the various ministries and learning the ropes, so to speak, especially as the majority of them are new to the job and the money being spent. On one hand, you hear from the new PM of a financial deficit in the various public institutions he has inherited, although the former PM and economist in his own right, Timothy's not no damn economist. That's why you're gone wrong. And Timothy's not no accountant neither. He got a PhD in it, but he's not a damn accountant. True accountants will tell you this. Fine, let's move on. I think it's heartening the number of young people at the head of government, but I'm worried that not enough attention is being placed on running the country and getting the work of the people done. Jacqueline, not your ass. You hear? Let me say it again. I don't care who Jacqueline be. Jacqueline not your ass. If you ain't paying attention, let me bring you up to speed. Since the installation of this new government, and me not say that they're perfect, hear me. Me not say that they're perfect, and me not say everything what they do, I agree with. But since the installation of this government, the Prime Minister has instructed or given the AG to overlook a number of things in this country. If a pin drop today tomorrow and you land pan somebody foot, the AG pan radio bang him out. He put out something on his social media. See, Hush Puppy just get convicted to go to jail, and the AG done put out something to keep us informed. Jacqueline, you not read? He had a dog situation, the AG. Domestic situation, the AG. What went on with money? And money is exorbitant amount of money coming out of the treasury. The AG. Everywhere you turn, you see this man trying to explain something. Look at his presentation in Parliament, trying to explain to Mark, Sean, and Timothy, who just come out of government for 7 years, that the man literally had to say, I don't know who was advising you, but I am advising this government. Jacqueline, sit down and hush and try learn something. You're talking about you are heartened by the amount of young people running the country. Well, you had a bunch of old cohorts running the country, and the country was shit. What are you saying? They were vindictive, vicious, greedy, and selfish because they only look after their own business and their own affairs. Look how much things done do in Parliament that directly affects the lives of the ordinary man and woman in this country. Just look at it. Last week, Friday, the Small Business Amendment Act. The same act where they made, Lord, how the act go? The same one when they talk about Dougie. When Mark get up and talk about Dougie could not act with you. By Marcus, your ass. That's where they went in Parliament go fix. To make it right. Because it wasn't right under you. So they went in, and because they're doing their assessment to see how government is supposed to move forward, that is why they could have gone into the House of Parliament and made those amendments, and they were important. You heard the AG explain these things. So much domestic abuse went on in this country because of the pandemic. Ordinary citizens of this country were affected by that. We saw 2 deaths. Not 2, 3 deaths. A murder, suicide. And a young man lost his life because of domestic dispute. And the AG had a conversation with the police. What can we do to police this thing a little better? He had meetings with social services, the Ministry of Social and Gender Affairs, to find out how they could craft a piece of legislation to combat this thing. Maybe domestic abuse and domestic violence ain't a part of your life, Jacqueline, but you're part of a lot of other people's life, and the government see an issue and they went to fix it in Parliament. What the hell you talking about? They should take time to run government. The mere fact that they were able to put them bills there through the house so quick is because they saw a problem and it needed fixing. What happened now? You want people to lie these things? I not pay attention. Let me move on. Small businesses were affected significantly during this pandemic because of the stringent measures put in place by Timothy and his task force. There was no balancing act. And so the small business sector needs looking after more than ever. We already asked if the young people, as you claim, who in government, who you know what they're doing, how in God's name they could have gone into government in just 3 months? August, September, October. And they came on the 4th of November to make an amendment to the Small Business Act to give power to the necessary person to go do some things to help small businesses. Jacqueline, again, hush your ass. You know how to pay attention? You know how significant that is? You know what that sends a message? It sends a clear message to the small business community that the government is seeing and understanding what the hell you're going through, and they're trying to prepare themselves to do something about it. But no, you're heartened by the amount of young people in government. Jacqueline, hush your ass. Let's go to renewable energy. Everybody's concerned about global warming. The young Dr. Joel Clark, along with the young Conway Maynard, along with the young Mark Brantley, along with the young Prime Minister, is right on track when it comes to sustainable energy. What the hell are you talking about, Jacqueline? You don't listen to the first press conference where they had? To hear how the inter-ministries, the interrelationship between the ministries going? The interconnectivity. You know here? You don't listen? Mark Brantley talked about J. Thomas since 2013. And it took a Labour government coming in with a bag of young people to just sign off on a letter one time for the Caribbean Development Bank so Mark Brantley could get J. Thomas started in Nevis. And we also going to benefit. And if it comes out to the magnitude that it's supposed to come out, we could sell energy to the rest of the Caribbean region. Jacqueline, what do you ask you talk about? But it's heartening to see so much young people in the government and they need to get a grip of what's going on in the government. You see, let me tell you something. And this is where me and a lot of Labour people fall out. Because when I open down a chat a bag of shit, but get rid of all of them. Just go in and just fire everybody out the government. You can't work so. Government is continuous. There are people in there who started things and started projects that the government needs to fully understand. And if you send home everybody, how do you ask you're going to understand what's going on in there? This is where some of you don't think, or you don't take all your emotions out of thing and think. If the government just go in and just clean sweep, run home everybody, how do you ask they're going to what happen in the government? How? Oh, you need to think. Young people, me ask, I could recall that when Labour was in power, I was on the radio lamenting about the number of elderly people holding very high positions in the government. And I said, look, these people have been working for the better half of 30 and 40 years in high positions in government. What you mean to tell me, we young minds who went where go get tertiary level education, who come back and have contributions that they want to make based on what's happening now in the world, and they must be stunted because there are some elder people in the service who just don't want to go home. They get pension. Some of them get all a 3 and 4 pension, social security, and still a big stinking contract out the government. And I am saying, how come some of them don't just move along and allow other people to move up so that the ministries and the service is not stagnant? And guess what? A big businessman called Juni Loybud to get me fired because he said me a disrespect old people. Me who go upon my grandmother, I disrespect old people by telling them that at some point in time, you have to move on and allow young people to come up the ranks. What you want to tell me? Young people who just come back from college, bright-eyed, have more to offer. Cannot move up because what? He got some political hacks in position. Ain't want to move. Collecting 3 pension, social security, and still a big stinking contract. But nothing for young people. Why we got this culture that you got to wait until you're 40 and 50 to start to make a certain kind of money? That is why they were bitching when the new director was 22. This woman got nearly 3 degrees. Experience in the orange economy, be it dance or music or whatever the hell it is. And now she's in the position. Guess who was in the position before? Weeks. According to Big Less, not even a damn birth certificate the boy got. But Timothy made it possible for Weeks to be director of the orange economy. A multi-million-dollar economy, and all Weeks got is a damn shop up the village. When it had more people out here, fully immersed in the orange economy, with degrees, me not had none. So not me. But I know what I know. And guess who they get the job? Weeks. And Jacqueline not say nothing. Ask them in the ministry, the Moyen ministry, what economic plan, what economic policy, what policy of growth and support Weeks right as director for the orange economy? Ask them. I'm going to wait. By Baggy, I want to easy, you know. But these people pissing me off. What policy Weeks right since he in the position there? I know a young, bright-eyed lady who is 22 years old and got 3 degrees, has been practicing in the orange economy for as long as she knows herself. She get the work, and people is saying it's a bitch. And the same Weeks here, on Facebook every damn day, before he go write a policy for entertainment and small businesses, because small businesses was attached to the Ministry of Entertainment. Instead, the boy go write a policy paper to see how he could formalize and put forward the orange economy. He pan Facebook a chat shit. And somehow you under he post, boy, you keep conversation with him. Bye. Me not understand. How people like Jacqueline could get up and write them foolishness there. But Jacqueline not pay attention. She works because you got young people in key positions. The age where we had before, Juicy Boy and all. Mark Brantley is quoted as saying that they had a joke, an inside joke, that if you want any issue, any policy to be dead on arrival, you send it to the AG's office. That to me is telling. You hear? They had an inside joke that if you want anything dead, send it to the AG. And he was an old man. He was an experienced man. He was a Jack-willing harmony man. Because he wasn't young. But they say, if you want anything dead, send it down in Juicy office. Now look at the young age that we have. And when they say young, the age is not a little boy, no. The age is 40 years old, you know. You understand? He might not look so, but the age is 40. That a young? 40 years old? The age is 40 years old. How long this guy been practicing law now? Ask yourself. And since he has been in the office, we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, have had the opportunity of clarity on a number of issues. Clarity. When Mark get up a chat shit in Parliament, and he in Parliament know who he is now. When Sean get up a chat shit, I ask him a lot of stupid questions. Pardon me, I'm sorry. His questions were valid, but he should know better. Our AG, who is 40 years old, not a little boy, but he look young. He's 40. Gets up and have to explain to somebody who was in government for 7 years with Timothy and in government as premier over in Nevis since 2013. He had to explain to him like a little child. And I'm sure that the people who were looking at Parliament got the benefit of the AG's explanation as to why certain things are being done the way they're done. We could not get that out of Juicy, because every time Juicy get up and talk, you want to know where the ass you listen to. Cannot properly articulate he damn self. And here comes Miss Harmony, highly upset and annoyed that there's so much young people in the government. Jacqueline, hush your ass and pay attention. What happened? I got Parliament young people? I got Parliament young people? He comes out. He come like I got problem with young people. Some key pieces of legislation in the space of 3 months. This new young Labour administration, who green according to Jacqueline, who don't know what they do according to Jacqueline, done had Parliament 200% more. 200% more times than Timothy had, with a bag of old people in his cabinet. Jacqueline, sit down and shut up. It's I the one people disrespect I when I get up and type them kind of garbage there. So only the pep young people could go pan. So you could only go college, spend $50,000 to $100,000 of your parents' hard-earned money, get certified, get degree, get masters to come back to go up on the goddamn pep. According to Timothy niece, I daughter what the should be. Jacqueline, show us. I don't want people disrespect you. And I are supposed to be smart. I are supposed to be experienced. And people need to tell I these things. You like, are you blind? I got amnesia? I wasn't paying attention? Delante Lewis just graduated from UWI. I forget what he degree them in. But he major in something and he minor in something. Delante was sitting down next to the girl Timothy when she chat, she fart. Both come back and go on the pep for 2 years until you could figure out what the ass you want to do with your life. Them are the kind of shit what's going on in this country under Timothy. And now you sit down there, watch this garbage, and not say nothing. But today you type on Facebook about the government pan trips. The government pan trips and large numbers of people going pan the trips. you could see where the government got an interest in running this country, you know. Timothy not gone out to this country to no international meeting in months, years, because what? He not trust nobody. Coming on to the end, he know how much shit he been do, so he not even want left the country, because he left the country and go and come back. He might not come back with no country in his power. So he no went nowhere. Mark in New York at the UN, but he make a speech on down here on Zoom, because he fear to go to the country. Jacqueline no show us. We ain't had proper representation in the international and regional scene for a long time. We hardly had direct investment in the country. Mark used to up and down. I forget. Mark as foreign minister used to up and down the goddamn place. And what he bring back Gawi? Visa free access to work in a country where we can't even call. Well, to know he can't deliver visa free to Canada where they say we lose because of labor. And he was in for 7 years and now we told him visa free. Jack will not show us and pay attention. Next time, come in my inbox, ask me what I think before you go and post that shit. Because I don't want people disrespect you. How the hell that could make sense? You just wake up now? But large number of contingent. Look who gone to Taiwan. Never before. The last time we as a country went to Taiwan, it was Timothy and his family. He carried his family on a trip to Taiwan. And the Tracy say, let me eyebrows. Yeah, they're very nice. The last time we as a country went to Taiwan, when Timothy went, he carried his family. His family. On a trip. Look at who the Prime Minister took to Taiwan with him to meet with the Taiwanese. Our biggest and bestest diplomatic friend in the entire world. Taiwan has done more for us than any other country. Made more investment in us as a people than any other country. Jacqueline, you don't know that? And you can see where the Prime Minister is not a man about himself. You can see where the Prime Minister is not a man about himself. Let me say that again. The foreign minister there, the premier of Nevis. Nevis is an island. The NIA is an entity, even though you're not going to legal standing, can't the courts. But anyway, you can see where the prime minister is not a man about himself. And all of you who bitching that Hazel Jeffers gone to Taiwan, or Hazel Jeffers went to the UN. Let me tell you something, right? Some of you, I pray to God that some of you could just wake up one day and find wisdom. But you see how you try to mark people's life based on all your own. And I experience it every day in my daily life. When you are a public figure of that magnitude, you know how much people they communicate with you on a daily basis? You know how much meetings you have to have on a daily basis? I went to a function for the Prime Minister that he had for his campaign workers. The function was supposed to start 7 o'clock. Right? The Prime Minister arrived at the function somewhere around 6:30, close to 7. Right? It took the Prime Minister nearly an hour to get from the hotel lobby into the ballroom. You know why? Let me tell you. Everybody wants their 5 minutes, sometimes even an hour of the Prime Minister's time. Because people in St. Kitts have this attitude that somebody is supposed to fix all of their problems. I overheard somebody saying to the Prime Minister, I wanna walk. I wanna walk. I wanna horse. Me horse want fix. Me daughter wanna walk. Me and my family them now live good and they borrow off a yard and I can't get access to. That's what I tell the Prime Minister, you know. They got a family dispute. They're not going to no lawyer. They're not going to no court. They're not going to no police station. They want the Prime Minister fix a family dispute. Are you want to stop make me laugh? Are you want to say, since the government changed, I get clear one better look. Hey, I'm not going to behave here, though. But it just goes to show you everybody has a personal issue that they want the Prime Minister to fix for them. And he's the kind of guy, he gonna stop and he gonna talk to you. But some people no have no scruples and some people no have no boundaries. They don't understand time and place. They don't care. Prime Minister give fire for me work and then pay me off. I want you look into it to me. You go fix what's going on in there. Me fuck your body. Everybody now wants a piece of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister lose me boss during the pandemic. What you going to do about it? And knowing the kind of guy that he is, he going to listen to you and he going to try to fix your issue. Mind you, he's the guest of honor. He keeping a party for the people who work for his campaign. But he can't make it up to the head table because everybody's stopping him to ask for something. Everybody's stopping him with a sad story for him to fix. Sometimes all during lunch, the man didn't even drink a cup of water. And he got meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings because nobody give a shit about nothing. They just want their own personal things fixed. How one person supposed to remember all these things? He still got the country's business to attend to. How one person supposed to fix all these things? He needs an assistant. He needs somebody who is going to take care of certain things for him so he can focus on other things. And as far as I can see, this is where Hazel Jeffers come in. This is where the other guy at Monkey Hill come in. Remember this. Hey, good night. Good night, EK. This is such and such and such. The Prime Minister is having such and such, and he wants you to do such and such and such and such. Can you? You think the Prime Ministers are supposed to pick up your phone and call me direct to ask me if I could come and host an event? I mean, it would be nice. But he got 100 things other dealing with. So in comes his assistant to do all these things, make these appointments, make sure he get to where he need to get to. Prime Minister, don't forget you got this meeting. Don't forget you got to meet with this person. Don't forget you got to sign off on this. Ba, 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 boof, ba, ba. This is where the assistants come in. Okay, Prime Minister, you need to take a break now. You need to eat something. You need to drink something. Prime Minister, don't forget you got to call back Miss such and such from the ministry, such and such. This is where assistants come in to deal with everybody and their problem. But some of you can't understand that. I just see certain people and I just walk out, oh, it's just a tag along the gang for joyride. These people have roles. Whether you like it or not. This is where being a proper leader and delegating your workload so that you as an individual could still function properly. So when Jack Willing gonna jump on and talk about, they need to stay in the country to assess. So what the hell you think they've been doing since they got there? Bye. I don't understand nothing. Oh, I messaged Dr. Joe since last week and I know he not answer me. You know what people are messaging that man there right now? A woman and she child father fall out, she messaged Dr. Joe want to know where Dr. Joe going to do about child support. A man woman bite him and he can't get his fridge and his stove out as she plays. He messaged Dr. Joe, what are you going to do about this here? So I don't understand because some I got that kind of life there. Your phone is to play game, watch porn, and harass people, little nigga. Harass woman. That's why I use your phone for. I understand people's phone is for business. So sometimes I see people online and I feel it because they're online, they're supposed to answer you. Because I judge people based on your own life. Because I don't understand nothing. I never run a bar shop. I never run a lemonade stand. So I don't understand what it is to be a busy person. Because I got all kind of free time for I because I don't do certain substance with our life. I don't want people disrespect you. And I show these people would approach the Prime Minister and approach the other ministers. They don't even ask them how they do. As they reach, I want something wrong and you go fix this and wait. I don't get the same thing. Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody remembers something, but what happened on the radio, they call me phone. They just start to talk. Oh, EK, NRP. Oh, EK, CCM. Oh, EK, tell Dr. Joe. Oh, EK. They don't even ask me how me do. Some of them don't even say good morning, good night, good afternoon, nothing. They just want to get off what they want to get off of their own mind. And they don't give a shit about you. I doubt if some of them that ask, Dr. Joe, you had a cup of tea since you wake up? And I'm sure it was the same thing with Timothy. Maybe that's why he used to move the way he used to move. Because he was fed up of people just begging. Incessantly just begging. A man got a farm, he want to roll a wire. Boy, I don't know what the Prime Minister do, you know. Me want to roll a wire, because me vote to him. This is the attitude and the mentality of thousands of people in St. Kitts and Nevis. And the only how somebody going to understand yourself is when people actually tell you to your face. Somebody don't have no manners. And somebody very damn well selfish. You only see all your problems. I don't see nobody else's problems. And I feel like if somebody has got a problem, that it somehow minimizes your problem. Me having a problem doesn't make your problem any less important. The fact is that I got a problem. You have yours, I have mine. What are you doing to fix yours personally? So that is that. Where you can't see the efforts that are being made. Mind you, I would like them to work a lot faster with certain things. But sometimes when you rush, you end up in a bigger problem than where you're in. That's why somebody need to relax yourself. Hush. You forget where we come from. You forget. Now let me get to what Timothy say. I want to play Timothy's response to Dr. Joe about the state of the country. Lord, you pay attention. Let me video now walk by. Let me see if I could find the video here, Daddy.
My attention has been drawn to a statement made on a local radio station, Freedom FM, on Wednesday, the 2nd November 2022, by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Dew, to the effect that our country was in the red, or as some reported, that there was no money. This statement is frightening and calls for an immediate explanation from the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister. I receive many calls from citizens here and abroad about this statement, and it was obvious that the statement had had the effect, whether intentional or not, of bringing me and my tenure as a former Minister of Finance of our beloved country into dispute. I must therefore set the record straight. In a prior media engagement, Prime Minister Dew had indicated that his government had met the economy in very good standing, with all the resources required to meet his promises. Wednesday's statement that the country is broke raised eyebrows as to the honesty and competence of the Honourable Member for St. Christopher 8. For the record, the Honourable Prime Minister inherited a very strong economy projected by the IMF to grow by a record 9.5% in 2022 and about 4.5% in 2023. In other words, the economy was on a strong path of recovery after 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most importantly, my administration left the economy with the strongest cash buffers it has ever had over the last 40 years. As of the 3rd of August 2022, St. Kitts and Nevis, under my watch as Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, had an accumulated cash position of $688,095,101.41. This is an outstanding financial achievement lauded by both the IMF CDB and the ECCB. According to reports I received in my capacity as then Prime Minister and Minister of Finance from the Accountant General, this whopping $688 million in accumulated cash comprised of the following. I repeat, as the 3rd August 2022, this is how the Accountant General computed our accumulated cash position. We had at the St. Kitts Nevis and Gwilla National Bank operating account $214,535,961.57. There was a U.S. operating account with $103 $446,535.18. The ECCB operating account stood at $58,257.66. At the Bank of Nevis, an operating account with $607,711.51. We had reserves totaling $25,865,632.93. We had certificate of deposits of $268,231,402.56. We had other investments in governments of $1,350,000, and in other financial institutions, $74 million, leading to an accumulated cash position reported by the Office of the Accountant General of $688,095,101.41. My administration left our successors a country, that is our St. Kitts and Nevis, with a most healthy financial position, a most sizable deposit buffer of $688 million. That is closer to $1 billion than zero. The honorable member then must explain how, in less than 90 days, he spent off or wasted $688 million of our financial resources to put our country in the red. It is not just me saying this. On September 13, 2021, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, concluded its last Article 4 consultation with St. Kitts and Nevis, and it had this to say, I quote, St. Kitts and Nevis entered the COVID-19 pandemic from a position of fiscal strength, following nearly a decade of budget surpluses. A significant part of the large CBI revenues was prudently saved, reducing public debt below the regional debt target of 60% of GDP and supporting accumulation of large government deposits. End of quote. The Minister of Finance must apologize to the country and to the hard-working professionals in government who manage our country's finances. He should honor his commitment to pay frontline workers their 2 months' salary, to provide the CBI dividend to our citizens and residents, refrain from hurting the poor and vulnerable.
Okay, let me stop you right there, Timothy. Timothy said Dr. Jewess refrained from hurting the poor. By somebody could please explain to me who make Timothy? Watch, I don't mind and I don't want to dispute his numbers. But who could corroborate that? Sean, can you? Mark, can you? Jonel, can you corroborate what Timothy said? So you wait until you're out of government to come to give us figures? But as at the 3rd of August? Oh boy. I just feel to just end this life here now and can go karaoke here. I'll go by one human them. I don't even know what the hell. How to respond to this, yeah? Somebody please help me. I'm trying to find the words to respond to this here. I give me a 2 minutes there. Please. So Timothy left 600 million in the treasury. Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you, Timothy. Goodbye, Timothy. You could call upon anybody to apologize. Why don't you respond, if you can, to the claims also that the Prime Minister made about the development bank being ran like a bar shop, with your brother being granted a contract for $30,000 a month? Ask anybody in the bank right now if you get a mortgage from development bank. Ask anybody who get a mortgage from development bank who to build a house if they could continue to build a house right now. You ain't respond to that, but you respond to tell us what the accountant general tell you the government had. Well, you really can't say, Timothy. Let's suppose that what you say is true. Okay. Cool. But ain't that we want you to respond to? Tell us about development bank and what went on inside there. Tell us about who was on PAP that wasn't supposed to be there. Tell us about the money for peace. Who get it? Break it down to us. Break down that. Because I'm sure me could go to the accountant general and get them figures there. Oh, here? Bring your reputation into dispute? The man said we running a deficit. We paying out more money than what we getting in. You don't understand this, if it? You got a PhD in accounting. You don't understand that? In the 3 months, when we don't pay you people them, we pay out more money than we're bringing in. We expenditure was more than the income. You don't understand deficit demand? So you come blow a bag of hot here and deflection about this and deflection about that. Tell us why is Casper not having money? You say in other businesses. What the other businesses be that the government got in? Up to now you don't name them. You not touch development bank, you only touch national bank. The man said not about national bank. The man said development bank. Solid waste. You and Hameen in the cabinet. Give an account for what happened in solid waste. Where the money went. When you address that, we talk. Because I'm sure in the budget, all them figures what you said was in there, we could corroborate it. We don't want to know about that demand. We want to know about the statutory bodies. We want to know who house got fixed up or got built to the tune of $900,000 from a capital project that was going on. Who house get the money? We want to know who was getting kickbacks from the contracts that will come out of the AG office. How come you not talk to that there? About your reputation. My have a reputation. No, we don't want to know about that there. This is what we want to know about, partner. We want to know about the peace and the pap. Who get the money? Who was getting the money? That's what we want to know. Oh, here? Oh, here, Timothy? Timothy, you hear me? And now watch me, so. We want to know who get the money. Who get the money, Timothy? Una answer me? Timothy, na answer me, you know. Timothy, who got the money, sir? Who get the money? Who get the money, man, partner? Who create them fake social security numbers there? And why were they created? Where the money gone? You come and talk about the accountant general tell you. Where the money be? Who in a runs Casper? You as the prime minister, you not ask the minister who was in charge of a port, how come up the money? Fart. Bye. Just go off my screen, you hear? Just go off my screen. Boy, accountant general tell you that 600 and something $million was in the treasury. That was in National Bank. How come you never get with them figures there before? But you come and get with them figures and now you're not prime minister. But as of the 3rd of August. How much times are we going to try get you on an interview to talk about the finances of the country? Una want come. You hide the whole IMF report, you come and talk about the IMF say. The CDB say. The ECCB say. And you talk about the economy supposed to grow by 9.5%. By Sylvine Henry's logic, every time Labour used to say that the economy is going to grow by 5%, Sylvine used to counteract that and say, well, how much it was contracting by? So how much the economy contracted by under your leadership during the pandemic? Because if he contracted by 15 and he only go 9, which mean, are we still down, 6? Are we still down 6%? You and your creative accounting, you think people stupid, man? According to Sylvine, you ain't saying nothing. Sylvine say, you can't just come and say this is where you going to go by. And ain't subtract it from the number which he contracted by. Millicent said the accountant general have to come and speak for herself. Maybe. But that are the least. That is the least. That's the way you're left in the treasury. But suppose we expenditure more than the 600 million. You're not talking about that. Tell her about our bills now and why we owe. You talk about the GDP supposed to be below 60%. By a Douglas do that there. Uno do nothing. A Douglas, you commit that there so. How come when Douglas say he left $900 million in the treasury, you ain't corroborated, you not say nothing. But now, Dr. Drew must apologize to you? Bye, Timothy, go sit down here. Go sit down. Nobody gonna apologize you give you. Please have several seats. But you want an apology. But people call you. But nobody call you. By call you? I works, you know. But somebody call you. Somebody call you. Both near and far people call you. I works, you know. Hey, if I want call, I could call. Your WhatsApp number 663-2354. If I want call. I mean, I tell Timothy, buddy. He just hurt me head just now. But the accountant general tell he. By your ex, yeah. I hear the number 663-2354. If I want call me, I could call me. He line them open. Cause Timothy kill me, daddy, but me not understand the man there. Not even a little bit. All we want to know about the peace money. Who get the peace money? We want to know who in Pam Pap. We want to know how come you allow Pam to run on all the statutory bodies them. Hammy was with you in the last shower win. Hammy was in charge of solid waste. Where money? Eh? Where money? Imagine a man get over $1 million to do web hosting and website and all them thing there, and still social security them kind of money there. So which means he not get all the money there. So who he get the money to? You come and talk about $600 and something $1 million. How we don't want to know about that? How we don't want to know about that? Oh yeah? We want to know about the sugar cake. Stop happy show yourself. You let me go to the telephone lines, yeah, and see what's going on. Hello, good night.
Good night. Hi, good night, EK.
Good night. What's up with you?
I'm fine, just I'm in here laughing, but I'm trying to sedate myself.
Mm-hmm.
EK, I want to bring one point.
Sure.
When the pandemic hit in 2020-21, the only prime minister within the Caribbean cried out surplus after surplus. And I can clearly remember that Gaston Brown of and the Prime Minister of Antigua said he has no money in his coffers to pay. But Timothy Harris, the accountant, put up all of these numbers. So that's why I rebutted and said he did say these numbers. He called them out during the pandemic. Oh, they got all kind of big numbers.
Mm.
And I felt, really, where he getting these money? The way forward. During the election, so much money was backing around the place. And Timothy don't want to be, he wants Dr. Drew, the Honorable Dr. Drew, I'm sorry, to apologize for him for thieving the country money. You know how shameful, and then everybody on the road saying, because I don't hear things and think it's true, even though I'm here, that people saying, oh, Dr. Drew ain't gonna pay double salary during Christmas.
So
For what? The country is in red. When the country is in red, that means that there's no money. Maybe some money is there to pay a lot of things, but the amount of money that came out the treasury, and I'm hearing 14.4 million to do a school, which even a nail in on this school. Timothy raped this country, and I don't understand Kittitians. I am a Kittitian. I'm proud to be one. But my thing about it, they are so gullible to these things. Now, I saw a post from weeks saying, oh, yeah, look here, Dr. Drew said. Yes, Dr. Drew said that. And my only take, I may be wrong, but Dr. Drew should have waited for the report to come out, because he did say that the money was good. And then he come back and said no. So I am saying, I am young, and I'm just saying that he should have waited until he get the correct, because to me it sounds like, okay, you're saying everything is good, so what is it? I'm just questioning it, because I too was like, okay, what is it? But I do believe that for the 7 years, there was no accountability and no transparency in thinking. And I'm happy that the government is doing what they can. Imagine the bills are passed for domestic violence. And you said it tonight, women are abused. Men are abused also during the pandemic. Children were abused during the pandemic because everybody like locked up for this amount of weeks. I'm here in the house locked up and I will feel like I'm going crazy. So imagine when there's no money, there's nothing, how people are going to react. And my last point about it, I do believe and I know people were going crazy during the pandemic. I don't give parents my phone number, but somehow this parent got my phone number. When I answer the phone, that's during the COVID. She said, Teacher Bellat. I said, hi, how you get my number? And she said, Teacher, I have nothing to give my children. Nothing. It made my skin crawl. I get up and I went and I got stuff and I tell her, come. Our church was giving food and I went and get food for her. And I'm not blowing my own horn, but imagine how many others were going through that same situation. I was a bit upset that she got my number, but when I heard she had 3 children, 2 passed through my hand in kindergarten, and she gonna call me and say, Teacher, I have nothing. So imagine when there's nothing on the table, mother, father ain't working, and they have to feed their children. Somebody in the house must start to argue, and men love to provide for their family. So I find that Timothy is low, and I don't want to say it low, but yesterday I don't listen to Patches, but somehow me and Curtis was talking, and Patches said something, and I called in. I said, Patches, what happened to the bridge down there, your bill, that the people ain't got to drench it, all of that millions of dollars? And I wasn't giving him a chance to speak. And I said, oh, the boo doctor, the boo Timothy Harris. And then I said, if I was there in over Marriott, I'll take up some egg and I'll back in his face. And I think it's politics or culture calling and start cussing me. But I didn't care. Because Timothy has a hurt. Timothy has a hurt. And not only Curtis, but Timothy has a hurt. Timothy said, big COVID 2020-21. Timothy said, go and fast and pray. Well, he eat the steak and eggs. Huh? And thinking people forget what is going on. Come on. I am not sorry for him. I am not. I swear to him. I swear it. If I ever see him, I don't start cussing in the street because people are hurt.
I got you.
Come on, man. Thank you for answering my call, and good night to everyone.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let me go back and do the people them grades now. Yeah, bye.
All right. Have a good night. What I personally would like Dr. Drew to explain what he said about that. But he must know. He in there. Today you might be good financially. Tomorrow you're broke. So it all depends. We go back to the phone lines. Good evening. Welcome. All right. Seems as though the person internet now work good. Maybe it's mine. I don't know. But we ain't getting no connection over here. All right. So shout me back if you can. But I don't know. Probably he could explain. But Timothy need to sit down and shut up. Because when we were asking questions about these things, he ain't answer. He ain't even want to answer. Timothy, make yourself available to the general public. Come on, me sure. Let me ask you some questions. If you got the answer, just answer. If you don't have the answer, you can't answer. Timothy, come. Come la, you got the man. What feared for? Just come. And let me get some answers in the place. What are you going to do, my lad? All right, so we got 9 o'clock here. I think it's about time I wrap up this thing now and get out of here. Hopefully we can get another show tomorrow. Depending, I don't know. It all depends on how I feel tomorrow. If I decide to go on a little vibes tomorrow, get a little lime in before the weekend comes. But all in all, thanks, folks. I don't know what's going on with this situation here, but I'm gonna try to get it sorted out. I don't know. But hopefully, if you don't look sharp, by later this week or next week, I would get a hard line in so I could really take some decent phone calls. The other line that I had when my sister was here, I lent it to her and she not give me back. All right, call here on, welcome.
Ike, good evening.
Blessed night, my lad.
My brother,
Talk to me.
you speak a lot tonight about Miss Harmony. And I'm happy that you could speak about Miss Harmony tonight. Ike, these people are wicked to us, you know. These are the elite, you know. Miss Harmony, them do not care about poor people, Ike. Because them, they block me. You could recall, Ike, during the pandemic, I screenshot certain things and send them to you from her. You remember them? They support Cameron Wilkerson. She was very strong behind Cameron Wilkerson. Let's not forget Ike. Oh, Cameron Wilkerson doing a great job. It was all over Facebook. She supported Timothy Harris. Tony Frederick went quiet. But tonight she could tell the poor people that she have a problem with poor people. Where was Harmony when poor people was crying out last year? Timothy to fast and pray. That clear woman. And brother, we gotta keep hearing these elite people, you know. This is no joke, you know. What Miss Harmony right is no joke. Ike. Poor people, labor people, I stop play this silent thing and politics over, you know. Because somebody say keep off the radio, it's politics done. That's the problem. We just sit down and let people bully us. Mrs. Harmony, you should be ashamed of yourself. Or you have no love for the poor. It bothers you that poor people going to Taiwan. You listen, you understand what she's saying there, Ike?
Of course.
That is why when nobody tell me not about the racist and white people, the racist people and white are in my backyard. Because if a white man did write that, what we would have said, what Miss Harmony would have said, look what she write. It's only they could talk. It's only they could disrespect the black people and the poor people in this country. But we're going to rise up in Miss Harmony. We're going to stand up in Miss Harmony. Because that's what you want. You ain't say a thing can't to you, Ike, when Damian Weeks was in a big position. She ain't say a thing when the TDC workers get fired. Because all the thing was take the vaccine and the vaccine. The same Miss Harmony. But she come from where she come from? Under some kind of rock. 7 years we didn't see Miss Harmony writing. 7 years she never write. But she write now within 3 months. She ain't disappointed in nothing at all for the past 7 years. She ain't concerned about Hush Puppy just gone in jail. She ain't concerned about the school going to build over the aquifer. She ain't concerned Timothy when England go look shoes and watch. She didn't concern Lindsey Graham and Joe Marriott. She didn't concern Patches Level bill appeal and he can't tell us what's going on with the peer. She ain't concerned about pistachios and all the money. Who pay for the money? She didn't concern about nothing. She ain't concerned must fast and pray. But she know all of a sudden come from under a rock with she high color and she's disappointed in people who is a young set of people. I listen to them African patches, you know. I was listening attentively. Listen very clearly. Me and nothing to I listen to them. The attack now is on the young lady from Kayan. Because people like Miss Harmony them ain't happy to see a young poor lady like she from Kayan as the Speaker of the House. It's supposed to be the kind of high color. So now they attack, but let them know. She mother and she father could attack back. Because they know to rumble, they come from the ghetto. And that's the problem with them, you know. The ordinary people like Dr. Jew, the Speaker of the House, and all these ordinary poor people should never be in these positions. You think Dr. Jew should be leading the charge in Taiwan? They was expecting Mark Bantley to be leading the charge. The elite. And that's what bothering people like Miss Harmony them. But then she got ahead because she just opened up a can of worms. Because we got part 2 and part 3. Because we got a lot of parts. And for Timothy Harris with this foolish, he's coming to talk to people. Who's supposed to apologize to Tim? Well, who he apologized to? Who did he apologize to? Joe in the campaign, what he called Joe? Did he say Joe was the leader of the opposition? Did he ever mention Junior? He was asking for questionable with money. Where was he all the time? My Timothy, you need to just go shit ahead. You're a waste of time, my brother. You destroy this country. You ruin people's life. You mash up people's personal life. And whatever, every time you open the mouth in Parliament, I hope Congress jump up. Because I vote for Congress to represent me. And he's going to do that very well. And Miss Harmony, you open up China Worms, man. Because all these years, all your high-color people was very comfortable with him doing all these rounds. But in a month later, you show up. You'll continue because you open up a China Worms. You have a good day. Good night, teacher.
Have a good night yourself. Thank you so much for your telephone calls. All right, so we clear. We'll take a couple more. It's now 11 after, what time is it? 11 after 9. The number again, 663-2354, WhatsApp. So Auntie Tracy, stop calling me the cell one. Call this the flow. And let me get a few telephone. Auntie Tracy, not the number there. 663-2354. Not the Digicel. Okay? The Digicel is for, yeah, a different kind of vibes. Gotta let my wine and bubble up. Different kind of vibes. All right, so we got another call coming in. Let's take this one here. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, EK.
How you doing?
Forgive me for this time. I am doing well. I am 2 hours behind of you.
Oh,
So
yeah?
forgive me, my dear. Yes, 2 hours. Boy, I feel bad. Because I am still confused with the time. I have to catch up with it. Because, you know, things come on like 2 hours now behind. So it's like 10 o'clock,
okay.
you know, 10:30 news come on. And then whatever come on. And so I have to be, you know, remembering that, you know, time gone back.
Right.
But I've been trying to call you. I have some questions and they're puzzling my brains. Because the people, if I'm thinking maybe, I think they're either sleeping or they're in a coma. Remember when the peace program was started? What did they say it was for?
The peace program?
The peace program, yes.
Uh-huh.
Remember when they started this peace program? And the Prime Minister came out and he said talk about the peace. What did he say? Who was he said it was on the peace?
The gang man them.
Okay. So how single mothers, grandmothers, grandfather, custom officers, you know, the whole walks of thinkers get on the program. Because if you listen and if you read those messages from the BBB, persons are saying, "Who I was working XYZ. and I was on, getting, and I was on the program. I wasn't working, and this person was on the program. How did they get on that program? Because remember, he posted one about this single mother who said she was on that program. One before he posted about a grandmother who said she was on that program. So people not stopping to read. For me, I love to read, If he posts, if it's about 100 messages, I'd like to go down to them and read them. You know why? People just miss things inside if you don't read them. Because the other day I had to pull him up. And when he talks about him getting paid from Timothy Harris, I said, you let the cat out the bag. Then he said something about me if I cannot read. I said, yes, reading is fundamental. Go back and read what you write. I don't have to delete it because I was trying to find it back. And I could not find it back because, it went so fast. People were just posting like crazy. But he finally let the cat out of the bag. And our people have gone to sleep. What was the purpose of the PAP program? We need to understand these things, We need to, because we just take going up. Listen, I live in the U.S. And if I want to apply for, let's say, food stamp or unemployment, you have to apply to the program. Nobody puts you on the program. You have to apply. And they have to see. You have to bring in whatever you have to bring. They ask you for, you have to take. And then they do whatever they do. They call you. They give you some questions. You answer, interview you. If you qualify, you get under the program and they tell you how much you're supposed to get. You don't just automatically get it because it's there. So not because you have a program, it's just to say everybody's supposed to go on the program. No. It's not everybody is entitled to it because they have to see what you're bringing in, what you're spending, and what you have. Like let's say you have children. How much you're making? Is it could you pay your car note? And let's say it depends on what car you have. You may not be able to get on these programs, Let's say you have a 2019 or 2018 car. They call that a luxury. So you're not able to. So we think we love too much handout. We don't want to work for what is ours. If you can't afford a pair of shoes for $100, buy a pair for $25. I love sale. I was the sale lady. And when you see me dress, you would want to never have on $1 million. Because I used to run down Rams when they have the sale. Come in, buying it when it's $50 and $100, I wait until the bigger sale.
Oh, yes.
$20. The same shoe that you buy for $100. The same bag that you buy for maybe $175. I might get it for $50. That was me. Even to today, I still do it. I go in the store when they have sale. People, stop cut your nose to spoil your face. Don't hang your hat higher than when you could reach it. Mothers always say, God bless your soul. Don't watch what somebody have. Learn to use what you have. Don't grudge nobody for what they have. Learn to satisfy you. I swear your grandmother used to tell you so. Learn to satisfy you.
Of course.
If you have a piece of bread, drink water. Not a soul got to know when you're in your house. If you cook rice every day, go outside there, you took a mayambe bush, spinach bush, cut some, season up your food, and nothing smell good. So when you put in some peppers and some onion and garlic, the neighbor say, "What the way you cook? What are you on?" And belch.
Indeed.
Learn to satisfy. We have a big problem in our country that we want to watch what other people have. Me, I'm going to get Mr. Timothy Harris, because he needs to answer me the questions. Why is the 4 major statutory bodies bankrupt, and they just bankrupt yesterday? And tell us how much money he made in the treasury when he get into office 2015.
All right.
What happened to the money from Casper to building your pier? Why Casper gone bankrupt? What happened to development bank money and all the contracts? He better do let me start.
That's
because
what we
they're not
want to know.
answering the questions.
That's what we
They're
want
not
to know.
answering the questions. The Prime Minister said we are running in the way if you have a business. As you said it, dear, you have a business. You might not have liquid cash money because you're spending out more than what you're getting in. So you have to dip into your savings to end up to pay Jack. That money is not supposed to go there. We need. They like to say there is no, and they like to say that there is no accountant in your government. One and one in me too.
No accountant in the government.
What? There was no doctor in the farmer government. Was there?
Maybe that's why healthcare gets someone knocked
out. And you had health went to the dog, and so.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you can have a good night. I wouldn't start, because they don't want. Let them answer me questions. When they could come back to the nation and answer how much money he made in the treasury when he gets in 2015. Other than that, we don't want to hear him. Have a good evening, dear people.
Have a good evening yourself. And these are the questions I want answer too. Ask about how much in the treasury and how much you had in reserve and all them things. Me don't want them things, the partner. Me want to know what happened to all the monies that Dr. Drew talk about, went to this person, went to that person. That's what me want to know. Hello, good night, you're on.
Hi, good evening, EK, finally.
Yes, you get in.
EK, I just want to thank you for bringing clarity here tonight to our people in relation to that video that was shared by Dr. The dishonorable creative accountant left the country in a red zone. Harris, you hear me? Thank you. Because a lot of people see the video and they're in awe, like, oh, what Dr. just said. Well, it's like people just don't like to read. They don't like to listen. All of a sudden, Timothy just come in giving detailed figures and hide the IMF report for years, and they forget that.
Oh.
They forget that. All he needed to do was come and tell us how much money he made there that labor left. That's all. We could calculate for ourselves.
Of course.
He's a creative accountant. We don't need him to tell us anything. Huh? How much? 900 billion. He said he left 600 and something. 900 million. He said he left 600 and something million. That less.
Of course.
What they used to say, 5 is more than 2. What did they used to say? You can remind me there.
5 more than 20, daddy, bro.
Right. So 680 something million is more than 900 million. I get it. That's how we're supposed to understand it. The same one who said Dr. Ju need to come to Parliament and sit down in the gallery where he shall ever be. Tell him stay in opposition where he shall ever be, where he want here. Ding! You have a good night.
Have a good night yourself. Yeah, but you see, everybody gonna run with the hysteria because it appears to me that some people like hysteria. They're like dog with a bone. The church, the gun. Partner give an account. Dr. Drew say that a man, you see a man who, from what was saw, was paid $800,000 to be the construction manager. Confirm that now. You not talk to all the allegations them. You not confirm all the allegations. But you come talk about what in National Bank and what in the Treasury and what oversaw, what in some account who Bank and Nevis and all them kind of foolishness. But nobody care about that day. Them thing they are given. You hear? We could go to the accountant general and find out that. What we want to know is about the peace money, the PAP money, how the peace was run. We want to know how come your brother was brought back into the bank, given a new position, paid more money with a contract that would have paid him even if he dead, and still run down the bank. I was well to give share the life me information so that me or the bank, me need to come service me loan, whether I done pay it off. We come give with the information about how the bank was run now. That's what we want to know about. I tell you about accountant general give you information as of the 3rd of August. We ain't here. The 3rd of August is gone. When you had the opportunity to clear up a lot of these things, you did not. But you come publish yourself. But people call you concerned and it's frightening. Why it's frightening is the lot of shit that I was doing inside there. Come and tell us why solid waste no have money in it. Scaspa, Skilek. Why the Skilek workers had to go and protest the other day. This ain't a 3-month-old problem. Timothy, you got your marbles, they mix up, my lad. You know, come say nothing. And I know the papi show them gonna run with this. Oh, Timothy say, who the hell supposed to believe Timothy? Who? Let he answer to the substantive matters that Dr. Drew outlined. Who you do business with Inotech? Who sign off on that? Who own the company? Who here got shares in the company Inotech? That's why we want to know, partner. Tell me nothing about no treasury. You did not give an account for the monies where Douglas said he left inside there. I'll know. But now you come and talk about what accountant general give you some time ago. But I don't want to know that day. Hello, good night.
Good night again. My last thing for the night is, can he give us the list of names that was on the peace program?
Not he.
Why was the government spending over $200 and something million a month?
A month.
We need a month. A month, you know. So how many persons? What is the breakdown that how much they was getting a month time? We need to know. That is what we need to know.
Right.
Where is that money going? We need answers. Listen, Ike, there are so many questions and we don't want to get the answers. Tell those people who don't think for themselves. Stop letting people think for them. Have a good night.
All right, have a good night yourself. Thank you for that phone call here. Yeah, this is what we need to know. And this person was pleased with it, and that person was pleased with it by having a care about anything there. Come answer them question there. That's what we want to know about. What happened to our money? You say you give Mark $400 million. How you give him? Break down the homie now. And you find out for Mark how he spend the money? That's what we want to know. Pat shit up and down at talk about Drew signed 1,500 passports since he has been in office. But how much Timothy signed Pat shit? Stupid ass culture them and politics. A who I call Pat shit. I got enough for here before I start to go down. I got a snipe word. I mean, I really want to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so very much for joining me here tonight. Let's get real. These people draw me out, you know. And I didn't want to come out, you know. They draw me out, you know. And I didn't want to come back out so quick. But nevertheless, thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for sharing. Don't forget, if you want to become a partner, you can reach out to us, make a contribution, because doing these things ain't cheap, Lights and AC, and then getting this and getting that. If you want to run some ads with us, supposed to share your posters and your ads, sure, no problem. You can contact me. You know my number. You can drop me an email, realright@gmail.com. Let's get real now, 21@gmail. Yeah. And become a sponsor, become a partner, contribute. Thank you. All right. So that's going to do it for me here tonight. I'll see you guys on another live when I see ya. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your evening and be good. I'll see you when I see you. Oh, oh, oh. All right. Bye-bye.